Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a city street. The street is comprised of 5 simple builds: a cafe, clothes shop, grocery store, bakery, a house, and we actually have 6 builds if you count this alley. This street is useful to help fill up your city in a quick and interesting way. I will show you how to make each one individually, and I'll even timestamp them for you in the description below. You can rearrange these builds into different patterns, change the materials used in their construction, and you can also use more or less of them as you see fit. Consider becoming a channel member today and you will gain access to a cool avatar next to your name, some unique emojis, and access to my mini city design world containing every single build that has been added to Mini City to date. This is well over 100 builds, all chronologically ordered, Java edition only. Here is the amount of space required to make the street. Here are all of the materials that we will use to make the cafe. Begin by placing 6 birch planks on top of each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Place 2 glass blocks to the right, 1, 2. A birch plank to the right of that. A glass to the right of that. A birch plank to the right of that, and then connect down to the ground. Left of this, we want to dig, place a smooth stone in the ground with an oak door on top. Place birch planks extending left to connect back to our wall, and place a 2x2 square of glass in the corner. We want to extend each one of these glass blocks 1 row down. Fill everything in between in using birch planks. Add birch planks to the top of the cafe, first with a row of 4 and then with a row of 2, like this. We then want to place birch fence left and right of the door here, with smooth quartz stairs on top of the fence. We then want to place a smooth quartz slab here, connecting them together in the middle, and one on top. I think it might also look good to have a glass above the door as well. Next, we are going to extend the side walls of the cafe backwards by 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are going to build these up to equal the height of the front. We then want to come to the opposite side of the build and do the same. On the back of the cafe, we are first of all going to connect the bottom together, left to right like this. Then we are going to place a 2x2 square of glass here on the right side with birch planks on top. Another 2x2 square of glass on top, just like this. Then birch planks to the left of this, and then another row of glass connecting to the wall. We will then fill all of this empty space in with birch planks. We then want to add the same row of 4 and then a row of 2 birch planks on top of the wall like this. Then we are going to place smooth quartz stairs along the side of the roof line like this on the front of the build. Extend the smooth quartz stairs 1 row forwards like this so it overhangs the front of the build, and then place upside down stairs underneath the overhanging blocks. We also want to make a simple chimney by placing 1, 2 birch planks on top of each other just behind this roof here, with a hopper on top of that, just like this. We are then going to place the same arrangement of smooth quartz stairs along the back of the roof line on the back of the build, have them overhang by 1 row, and then place upside down smooth quartz stairs underneath the overhanging row. We are then able to simply connect the front and back of the roof together in a straight line like this. I'm realizing it would have been easier to place the chimney afterwards, but I guess we live and learn. I am going to directly remove the blocks in front of the cafe and replace them with smooth stone. Whilst I'm doing this, I will actually also head inside and do the exact same thing to the interior floor of the cafe. And I want to add a second floor to the cafe as well. This is actually directly below this window line, and the only thing we have to do is leave a gap here in this corner for a ladder so that we can climb up here. We can also add in a staircase, but it'd be really tricky. I'll give you guys two different options later, but we also want to add upside down smooth quartz stairs underneath the roof like this, just to clear it up. Then we can move back outside. Next, we will place a brown glazed terracotta in front of our cafe with an oak leaf on top. Above that, a birch fence extending out from the wall, which we then want to extend another row. Place item frames in front or to the side of the fence with a cake and bread inside of either one of the item frames. Next, we want to place a scaffolding here with a smooth quartz stair either side of the scaffolding with a candle on top of the scaffolding. Next, we are going to head inside of the cafe and make the interior. So begin by placing a furnace here in this corner with white concrete extending across to the right. On this counter space, we will place an item frame with food in it, so I'm going for bread, and then right of this, flower pot, and right of that, a brewing stand. I'm going to decorate the wall above with a series of paintings, and then place a row of smooth quartz slab extending in front of this to form another counter space, which we will place cake, another cup, and if you want something else on here, you can, but I don't want to clutter it too much. Then we are going to place ladders in this corner here, extending all the way up to the next floor. And all we want to have up here is a couple of tables. So smooth quartz stair here, scaffolding in front, smooth quartz stair here, scaffolding in front. We will place a stair opposite this table, just like this. And on one table, a candle, the other a flower pot, and then in between them, a painting. I would prefer either that one is okay, but I'm kind of looking for the flower one. That's the one. So this is the cafe actually 100% fully complete, but do let me show you an alternate layout, which is something you could use if you wanted to make another one of these on a different street. It's going to be personal preference which one you enjoy, but in this version, we are immediately greeted by the counter and the kitchen space behind it, and to actually access all of the seating, we have to come upstairs, and we have a couple of tables, and it's a little bit more nicely decorated than the previous. I don't think one or the other is better, they're just different. Here are all of the materials that we will need to make the clothes store. Kind of, we are missing some banners and some armor, but we'll grab those when we need them. If you are building the clothes store next to the cafe, we want to count and find the first, second, third birch plank on the right side of the cafe, extending in towards the center. Right of this, place a white concrete. Dig to the right of it, place a smooth stone, oak door on top. Right of it, place two more white concrete, 1, 2. Extend forwards by 1. We then want to dig to the right by 3, 1, 2, 3. Place sea lanterns in there. Then place a white concrete on the end. Extend backwards by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend across the back of the build. And join back to where we first started. We then want to remove all of the glass block inside of the clothes store and replace all of this with smooth stone. We then want to place an additional 2 white concrete on top of every single white concrete that we have. So 1, 2, just like this, extending all the way around the edge of the store. We then want to place a glass above the door, and we also want to place glass on top of the sea lanterns, equaling the height of the rest of the walls. Place white concrete on top of the glass as well, and we also want to place a bell above the door. Next, we are going to place a brick slab left and right of this row of white concrete, which we then want to extend forwards by 1 row, place a lantern underneath each brick slab. But then on top of the slabs, we want to place another slab and then extend these slabs upwards and inwards until they reach a point. Then we are going to place brick slabs on top of the initial slabs and then extend across the top of the entrance like this. And if there is nothing here, we would place a brick slab to the right of our clothes store. Say we decided to place it on the end instead of in the middle here. And then we would extend this slab back and up and back and up and back and up, just like this, that many times. Then we extend back, and then we start extending back and down again, back and down, back. So we have this shape, which we would then extend across to this side of the build, which we can actually have overhang and attach to our cafe like this at the back. And we will also clip into the roof of the cafe as well a little bit too, so making sure that that is even. And then we will have to place some white concrete here to cover up any gaps. But once we have established the shape of the roof, we also want to apply that left and right like this, and we just want to join both sides of the roof together. And we also have to extend this little bit here as well, just backwards. And once you've completed it, we will have a nice looking roof. Next, we are going to place a composter next to the door with a flowering azalea leaf on top. 2 brown carpet to the right of this, connecting to this wall. And then I think it would just be nice to dig in front of this window area here. Place a row of lime terracotta in front of the window, followed by a row of green terracotta, and then we are going to remove all of the other grass and grid in front of the door, and we are just going to place some either smooth stone or smooth stone slabs will do. Moving into the store now, the first thing that we are going to do is place some mannequins in the window. So a brick slab right up front and center here, with an armor stand on top of it. It might actually be easier to remove some of the window to place the armor stand. And you know what, since we're destroying the window, we will also place an armor stand here and here beside it as well. And that way they're all just facing forwards, like the way we want them. Coming back into the store, we have to create some separations along this back wall. So we're actually going to place brick slabs extending all the way up in this left corner, leave a gap of 2, and then another row of brick slabs extending all the way up like this. And then we are going to just add a row of brick slabs just across the top here like so, and here too. So it kind of just shapes the inside of the store a little bit. Then we want to place armor end rods connecting these 2 rows of bricks together, and these want to extend through just like this to the right side, and we want another row of these just directly above as well, doing the exact same thing. I also think it would be nice to have some paintings in here as well, just the 1x1s kind of like in the middle of the wall, just like this. I think that does just kind of like improve this a little bit, adds a little bit more character to the walls. And lastly, we just need 3 sets of armor in total, and also 4 different colors of banners. It doesn't matter which you pick, but this is my selection. So the armor is of course for the mannequins. Let's not forget this one. And we are going to place the banners along the floor here to look like they are hung up items of clothing. And there we go. That is the clothes store complete. The only thing that I will have to do for myself, as this is getting directly sandwiched in between the cafe and the grocery store, I will have to remove that end part of the roof. Here are all of the materials that we will need to make the grocery store. If you are building the grocery store to the right of the clothes store, place a terracotta directly to the right of the clothes store, extend forwards by 2, 1, 2, and then up by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then place 2 glass extending right, 1, 2, and then a terracotta, 2 more glass, 1, 2, terracotta, extend all the way down to the ground, and then left of this we want to dig in the ground and place a smooth stone with a dark oak door on top and a glass above it, and in front of that a bell. Then we simply want to extend terracotta over to the left of the door, place 3 rows of glass, 1, 2, 3, extending across from the corner, add another row of glass on top, then 2 rows of terracotta on top of that, extend each glass down by 1 row like this, fill in all of these gaps with terracotta just like this, and terracotta above the windows at the very top of the build just like so. We are now going to mark out above this lower window a red wall, white wall, red wall, white wall, red wall, just like this. And then we are going to remove all of the grass and grid in front of the grocery store and replace it with smooth stone. We will then place 1, 2, 3 spruce fence here and 1, 2, 3 spruce fence here. We are then going to extend the grocery store backwards by 7 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we want to extend the whole wall backwards. So up as high as the actual wall at the front of the build. And the same on this opposite side as well. We can then connect the back of the build together just across the bottom, and then here we place a row of 1, 2, 3 glass block extending across the back of the build, add another row on top. We then want to add 2 rows of terracotta on top of the glass, and then place a 2x2 square of glass here on the right side, terracotta to the left, 2 more rows of glass extending left with terracotta on top of the glass. We then want to fill the empty wall in here with terracotta, and then quickly just come inside the build and remove all of this grass block and replace it with smooth stone. Then moving back out of the build, we are going to connect the 2 spruce fence rows together with string, and we want to place either red or white carpet in front of our walls like this. Then a red mushroom block here in front of the left side of this window with a pumpkin to the right and a melon right of that. Spruce trapdoors left and right of all of the fruit/mushrooms. Next, we want to make the roof by placing oak slabs in between and to the side of these terracottas. Extend these slabs forwards like this, and then add an additional slab on top of each of these. Extend these slabs inwards to connect them all together, and then extend those slabs upwards like this. We will then extend these slabs out on the left and right sides like this, and these will extend back, and we pretty much want to do the exact same thing on the back that we just did on the front as well. So slabs in between and aside all of the windows, extend these slabs up, and also we have to extend them forwards as well. We then want to connect them all together in between, and then extend those connective blocks upwards like this. And we can extend these slabs just to connect together. And then it's really quite simple. We just extend the roof front to back. Next, we are going to head inside of the grocery store, and the first thing that we should probably do is add a second floor. So we place an oak plank here in this corner, and then add oak stairs extending down from this plank all the way down like this. And we can add upside down stairs just underneath, and then we are just going to use oak planks to fill in the second floor. So we're just going to fill it in such a way that we are able to get up and down these stairs. And I think that we're also just going to add some upside down oak stairs, just like this. just underneath those parts. I think it makes it a little bit interesting. You can also just smooth off the roof if you like as well. So coming all the way down to the first level, on the ground level, we are going to place 1, 2, 3 dirt just inside of these two windows here at the front and the back, with spruce trapdoors surrounding the dirt, just like so. We will then hoe the dirt, and at the back here, I'm just going to place carrots, and at the front, I'm going to go with potatoes. Feel free to choose whatever plant you want to plant. We are then going to place 1, 2, 3 pumpkins in the middle of the room, and 1, 2, 3 melon just to the right, like so. And then I'm going to stick a 1x2 painting, not that one will do actually, just above our fresh produce. Then we are going to head all the way up to the second floor, and we are going to do a very similar thing to the first floor. So up on the second floor, we will place 1, 2, 3 dirt with trapdoors surrounding it. This is at the front of the room, and I'm going to place some sweet berries in there. Along the back wall, 1, 2, 3 mycelium with spruce trapdoors surrounding it, and red mushrooms in the mycelium. In the center of this wall, a row of bookshelves extending all the way up to the ceiling with brown carpet in front of the bookshelves. And if you like, I've only just thought about this, I guess we could place a painting just along these stairs on this opposite wall. That you know what, not my favorite for this type of build. What about, you know what, it's so good we've used it twice. And that is the grocery store complete. Here are all of the materials that we will need to make the bakery. If you are building the bakery directly to the right of the grocery store, come and locate this terracotta block, find the block behind it, place a white terracotta extending out right, dig in the ground right of that, place a smooth stone with a spruce door on top, and then place 4 white terracotta to the right of the door. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then extend backwards by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then connect all the way back to the grocery store wall, and then forwards like this. We are then going to remove the blocks inside of the bakery and replace them with smooth stone. We are then going to place a glass block above our door. We are then going to place a 2x2 square of a glass here along our wall, and also the same on the back. Then we are going to place 1, 2, 3 white terracotta on top of every single white terracotta block that we placed. And then connect them together across the tops of the windows, like so. We are then going to remove all of the grass and grid in front of the bakery and replace it with smooth stone. Then we are going to create a cake stand in front of this window by placing 2 oak trapdoors just flipped up either side of the window, oak trapdoors connecting together, and cake on top of the oak trapdoors. We also want to have a hanging sign next to the entrance here, which is just going to say bakery. So for the roof, we are going to place a spruce slab here and here. We will then extend them both inwards and upwards until they eventually meet each other in the middle. We want to do the exact same thing on the back as well. So here, and extend them inwards and upwards, just like this. We then want to place an additional row of slabs along the length of the left and right side of the build, just like this. And then we simply just want to connect the middle of the roof together, front to back. This will give us a pretty interesting looking roof. So let's say that this is on the side of your street, you've decided to stick this on the side. All we would do is add an additional row of slabs just hanging off the right side here, and there would also be one on the left, and that is all we would do for the roof. Next, we are going to give our bakery a chimney. To do this, we will locate this block, remove it, place a white terracotta instead, extend up one, place a hopper on top. Then moving inside, we are going to shape the roof a little bit by placing spruce slabs here, and then just connecting them together just in the middle like so. Then we are going to place a strip spruce wood here and here with blast furnaces in between, extend up a row and place a cake here, brewing stand here, 1, 2, 3 strip spruce woods here with a cake and bread and biscuits, and then red carpet just in front. And there we go. That is the bakery complete. Here are all of the materials that we will need to make the house. Side note, if you are building the house directly to the right of the bakery, you will first of all just have to remove that row of spruce slabs, and then we will begin the build by placing a terracotta here to the right of the bakery. Extend 1 row forwards, then dig directly to the right, place a stripped spruce wood in the hole with a dark oak door on top. Then place 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 light grey terracotta extending right, extend up by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, place 2 glass extending left, 1, 2, and then place light grey terracotta extending left and down back to where we first started. We then want to place a glass above the door, glass extending down from our 2 glasses that we placed earlier, and a 2x2 square of glass in the lower right side of the house. We then want to fill the remaining area at the front of the house in using light grey terracotta. Next, we want to extend the side of the house backwards by 7 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we want to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. We then want to make these rows as high as the front of the house. Then, on the back of the house, we are going to extend the bottom of the build across to join together. Then, we want to place a window here on the left side, a 2x2 square of glass, followed by 2 rows of light grey terracotta on top, followed by another 2x2 square of glass. This mimics the front of the house. We then want to fill the empty space on the right in using light grey terracotta. Add a row of light grey terracotta across the top of the back of the house and the top of the front of the house, just like this. Then we are going to come inside of the house and replace all of the grass with stripped spruce wood. And we are also going to install the second floor. The second floor is right here above this window line. We will also just use stripped spruce wood for this. When it comes to the roof, we want to place a dark oak slab extending off of both sides of the house and also 1 row forwards. We then want to extend the slabs upwards and inwards on both sides equally until they eventually meet in the middle. We will then do the exact same thing on the back of the house. Just like this. And then we will connect the front and the back of the roof together. Next, I am going to remove all of the grass and grid in front of the house and replace it with smooth stone. And underneath both of the large windows, I will place grass, surrounded by dark oak trapdoors with ferns inside of the grass. Actually, not really inside of the grass, on top of the grass, but I think that you guys know what I'm talking about. Next, we are going to head inside of the house and work on the interior. the first thing that we have to make is a tiny little kitchen. So place 2 blocks of iron on top of each other with stone buttons on the side. A furnace next to the iron, and then on this wall we want to place a spruce stair with a scaffolding just like this. Then we are going to, in this corner, place a bookshelf with 2 spruce stairs extending across, 2 end rods stacked on top of each other with a brown glazed terracotta on top. Next, we are going to place a flower pot on this bookshelf, and then we want to make these stairs. So the stairs are just in front of the door, we leave a gap of 1, and then place dark oak stairs extending up this wall until we are able to traverse from the ground level all the way up to here. But we also want to add a wall next to the stairs like this, and we kind of just want to box in the kitchen like so. We also want to add a painting in front of the sofa here, so this is a 2x1. That will do just nicely. I'm considering whether we need this bit of terracotta here. Maybe we can just extend this down. Yeah, we kind of do actually, so we can kind of like box this in a little bit. I think that that looks pretty good. It looks a little bit cleaner than it would have otherwise. And now we can actually head upstairs, and we have to make a room. So if we extend a row of 1, 2, 3 terracotta here, and we make a box just next to the window extending across like this, and if we remove this block, we don't really need it, remove these spruce and replace them with terracottas, maybe even these ones as well. We could even turn this into kind of like a whole wall actually, as all we need in here is a bed, and maybe we could even stick a painting above the bed just to give it a little bit of character like this. We want to enter into this room and make a toilet with a cauldron with a spruce trapdoor on top, stone stairs, tripwire hook above it. We will also give this room a door like this. So we have a teeny tiny little bedroom, a teeny tiny little bathroom. We kind of have everything that we need. We could also shape the roof a little bit just by adding some slabs like this. We would have to do that here as well. And that's looking really good. And that is our house complete. Here are all of the materials that we will need to make everything else. This includes an alley and a street light. If you are building this directly next to your house, you will want to begin by coming all the way to the back right hand corner of the house and placing a row of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bricks extending across. And then extend forwards by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then extend left 1, leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then place bricks. We then want to extend the bricks 1 row upwards, just like this. Then we want to place 2 green concrete here, 1, 2, extend forwards. Then place a cauldron to the right with 2 blue concrete extending right as well. Place oak trapdoors on top of the concrete, and we want to place spruce trapdoors on top of the green concrete. On this opposite wall, we want to place a couple of dried kelp blocks with 2 yellow candles on top of each of them. And to make a street light, which I'm just going to chuck at the very end here on this corner, 2 polished black stone wool on top of each other, followed by a beacon on top of that, and then a black carpet on top of that, makes a very nice looking street light, I think. We would then of course just remove all of the remaining grids and grass and replace all of this with smooth stone. Optional extra time. If you happen to have the space for this, I'd recommend adding an alley directly behind everything that we've just made. This is just going to equate to a couple of rows of walking space, maybe even just one, extending across all of the backs of the builds. So if you make sure that you just have at least one row that you are able to walk from one end to the other along, and we will create a brick wall surrounding this space, and we will also have a little gap just here, and then remove all of the grass and the grid. It just kind of cleans up this whole area. means that it's not really necessary to make the backs of all of these builds look really, really nice, as they are kind of covered up by a wall. And not only that, it kind of just helps to turn this whole build into just one separate unit. But if you don't have the space for this, then it's completely understandable, and I don't think it's important enough to take up extra space if you don't actually have it. And with that final part of the build added, we have officially completed this tutorial. This video is not over, however. We must now add our street into our city. Luckily for me, I already know where this build is going. I actually designed this street in particular to go alongside my clock tower. I wanted my clock tower to kind of be like the centre of attention amongst an old-fashioned busy high street, and this is part of that. If you have also built my clock tower, I would recommend pairing these together. They just go together splendidly. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that you have enjoyed this video. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. If you would like to make anything else by me, please check the description below for the Mini City Builds playlist. We have over 100 builds in there for you to enjoy. Alternatively, the sidebar, hopefully the next upcoming video, YouTube, or just check the channel. Consider becoming a channel member today, and you will gain access to a cool avatar next to your name, some unique emojis, and access to my mini city design world containing every single build that has been added to Mini City to date. This is well over 100 builds, all chronologically ordered, Java edition only. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.